First, can you just talk about the honor and the responsibility of being named a captain for this team?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely an honor. I've seen a lot of guys come before me that I looked up to a lot be a captain, so it's definitely a goal of mine. Just seeing what they did for the team, where they took it, and it definitely is an honor for my teammates to vote me there. So,
At the group that you guys have back, I mean, you guys have at every position pretty much somebody who started multiple games
Right.
for you last year. How cohesive do you feel like this group is right now?
Yeah, we're definitely closest O line that I've been on. Not just on the field, but off the field. It's always important that all of us can hang out off the field and hang out, chat, have a good time, that kind of thing. Definitely helps on the field. So we see the game through one set of eyes. So.
And then coming just together as an offensive unit, how do you feel like the potential of this offense is going to be this year?
I mean, it's looking good. Working hard. It's hard to see right now, but we definitely have a lot of talent through the whole offense. So a lot of returners. Quarterback room is very competitive, and we're looking forward to a great year.
How great's this weather been the last 3 days?
Unreal. Can't believe it's August. Big boy weather for sure. Day one, we got a little nervous. No, I'm just kidding. We love the heat with our tempo for sure, but we'll take the cool days too as a big guy.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
What's it like to be working with Coach Cashdollar and having him, you sometimes get a little bit loud when you guys are doing your drills. What's it like to have him as your position coach?
It's really amazing. You get not a lot of guys, take their job as serious as Coach Cash. He come in early, he leave late. He gives us a lot of tips to be great out there on the field, a lot of different tools to add to our tool bag. So I think it's good to have a coach that take it as serious as Coach Cash. I wouldn't rather be nowhere else.
You mentioned the tool. What's one thing that you've tried to work on in the offseason? Obviously, you're still in the front half of your career. What's something that you're trying to improve to have with you on the back half of your career?
My hands. My hands is like the only thing that I'm working on. Like, all the time, you really just got to work on your hands and working on my feet a little bit. But my hands is really the thing. So in the weight room, we got these new, like striking. I forgot what they call it. But you can punch them, So we've been hitting them all summer, trying to, get our hands better, coming out here, do a lot of hand drills, and show us NFL tape of guys that got good hands and good feet. So you could kind of just watch them and try to do the same thing.
Did I hear on the Instagram you'd be a 100-meter guy in the Olympics?
Yes, you did.
Are you the fastest guy in the offensive line?
Hey, yeah, they're going to have to see me out there on the field, man, yeah.
Should we put you in the backfield sometime?
I've been asking to put me at wide receiver for a long time now, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. I know that Coach Cash likes to work you guys out at a lot of different spots on the line, make sure you're prepared for everything. How settled do you guys feel like you are into your positions right now on the line?
For the most part, I think we're pretty settled. I do right tackle and left guard kind of interchangeably, but I feel like it just makes me better at both of them. Kind of, you do different aspects of the job at different positions, so you kind of sharpen both sides of the blade, I feel like.
And then blocking, obviously going to be blocking for a different quarterback this year. What's that like as you obviously have a great relationship with Ricky and Dennis were here, but also breaking in 2 new quarterbacks to your system? How's that been going?
Whoever's back there, we just want to give them the best opportunity to make plays and do good. I wish we could play all 3, every single quarterback. I wish every single dude on the team could play, but whoever's up there, just try to, give them the best opportunity to do good.
With so much experience coming back on this team, what's the expectation like on the offensive side of the ball for what you guys can achieve this year?
Well, I think there's a lot of expectation, especially on the O-line. I think we're one of the most experienced groups on the team. I know for sure on the offense. So, with Sherman at the front, he kind of tells us, it's got to go through us. And, we got to bring guys with us as the guys who have played the most.
When you guys are going around with such a veteran group back all across the offense, because you guys are always trying to run as fast as you can, how does having so much experience back at almost every position help with all the communication that you guys need to do before plays and checking plays?
Yeah, well, it really helps because when we're moving fast, guys already know they need to be thinking fast so we can move fast. So it really helps with guys especially who played last year, who they know what it takes and how fast they have to move and how fast they have to think.
You kind of had a little injury last year at the end of the year. Did that help you maybe look at things from the outside and be able to watch the offense a little bit?
I don't think so. I think it sucked a lot, and but I think a lot of rehab. Obviously, it was a lot of film, and I got to watch a lot of other guys and how they played, different things like that. But I wouldn't say it necessarily helped, but it was something you had to get through, and a lot of rehab.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Well, in terms of depth and veterans back, you may have the most experience back of any position group on the team in terms of the starters. What's it been like to get out there and work with these guys, and do you feel like you're maybe ahead of where you normally are at the end of the first week?
I think that even when every offensive line's different, and you always got to start square one. You got to start with the basics because you got new guys in the room. You've got guys at different experience levels. And I think sometimes that return to basics is good for coaches. If you assume that guys know things or maybe move too fast, you can actually kind of lose the older guys every once in a while. So I think they're in a good place. I think the one nice thing when you have guys that are experienced coming back is that it can help the young guys. When the older guys don't really know what they're doing or in their first year playing, the development of the younger guys can suffer maybe a little bit. And I think because I have guys that have played, they can meet with the older guys, relay the information, meet with the younger guys, relay the information, and it just happens faster, and it makes for just smoother practices. It just makes practice move better.
I know last year going into camp, you were thinking maybe some guys would switch around positions on the line, and that's something that you do every spring just to make sure that everybody knows every position in case something happens. How settled do you feel like you are this season about where guys are going to play on the line?
I think it's more of I understand what positions they can play. That I know, like what Carlos mentioned earlier, like Carlos has started games in the MIAA at right tackle, so Sherman Deaton, and guys like that can move around. I know Trey could play on the right side. It's always about finding the best combination of five guys, and with what we do offensively, if you can play 6, 7, and 8, maybe give those starters a drive here and a drive there to give them a break. It just makes you better, and it helps accelerate the young guys. The more O-linemen you can get on the field and kind of get their jersey dirty in a game, the better you're going to be experienced long-term, because a lot of those guys that just came through here, kind of the same boat. They played when they were younger and maybe struggled at times and did well at times, and it just makes them better.
Then give us overall just your bird's eye view as offensive coordinator of the offense with, again, almost every position, a lot of experience back, but not necessarily a quarterback. So how do you feel like the offense is coming along in week one?
Yeah, I think it's good. It's always a work in progress. I think there's two sides of it. You can draw the play on the board for guys that have been here and they understand the concept. Like, they know it. But what we do offensively is about timing. It's so much about timing. It's so much about getting out here and getting reps, getting different combinations of guys, inside receiver, outside receiver, with how we play and just getting that timing down. So offensively, the start of camp is always, finding that rhythm and then understanding the plays as well. And I think we're in a good place. You can't have this many guys coming back and just helping the young guys without just the experience helping overall for the group and just elevating kind of everybody around them.
Just a little bit off topic, but what would you consider, or what do you look for in an offensive line when you're recruiting for this offense?
Toughness. Like, you got to be mentally tough to play on our offense. It's to be honest with you, it can be a little bit of a hard sell that you're going to come out here and it's going to be a track meet every day. That you're going to be running a lot, that my offensive line in the grand scheme of most college football, even though they're big guys, we're undersized probably. Like, a lot of offensive linemen are 320, 325, and you can't do that and survive in our offense. So you got to find that balance of they are big enough that they have enough pop and they can get guys stopped, but you kind of see the projection that they can get a good enough shape and be mentally tough enough to hang in there with what we do offensively. It's really hard, but once they believe in what we do offensively, I don't know if my guys would want to play in a different offense. They love it. Like, they want us to push the pace. They love when we're playing fast, and it makes it a lot of fun for them.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You missed out, Coach.
Oh.
Well, you guys have such a veteran group. In terms of, I think, offensive positions, at any position unit that you have, this might be the most snaps and returning experience that you have back. How much of a comfort level does it give you with having a new quarterback coming in that they're going to be playing behind a very veteran and experienced offensive line?
Well, I think it, gives them confidence, and it starts with confidence. And because if you're confident, you're going to be comfortable. I think that when you're surrounded by the guys that we have up front and the skill players that we have, we got to make sure that we protect the football. Ball security is important, and understanding that you don't have to do it all yourself.
I think any one of those guys probably could have been captain because they're all leaders and they're all returners, but what is it about Sherman that makes him the right captain for this team?
I think he's a typical Emporia State football player. I know I talk about this a lot, but just a player that came in as a freshman and developed here and got better each and every year. Not only got better on the field, but just got better in just in general and just with leadership. I think he's just grown as a man, and I think that's when he's earned it. We talk about that we earn everything here, and he earned that. I noticed so much of a difference in Sherm from when he was a freshman, that he didn't say much and was really kind of quiet. And now he's vocal and talks and he's loud and boisterous, kind of like a lineman should be, captain. So it's good to see. And those are the things that I like to see as a coach too. That I want players to become great players. Don't get me wrong, but I just want them to grow in all other areas too.
And this was the first day in full pads. Not everybody was in full pads, but a lot more players were.
Well, we should have had everybody in full pads except one guy. Now, maybe some guys didn't have some knee pads on, but injured guys, but the majority of them. But anyway.
But first look to see the guys in pads and some live tackling today, and obviously the approach to how you practice that has changed a lot over the years, but I know it's still something that is very important that you go through. What did you think about the first day of live tackling in full pads?
Well, actually, it was physical out there, and the reason I think it was physical is because we didn't actually have any live tackling today. Might have looked like it. Those are things we got to learn just a little bit about practice habits. I mean, we want to be competitive but not combative. We want to keep everybody up and be physical, but there were some guys on the ground maybe that we didn't need to have them on the ground. So that's you're going to prove my point when I talk to the staff about practice habits and making sure everybody's staying up by you asking that question, saying, hey, you guys want some live today? No, actually we didn't. We actually did a competition. We did do some one-on-one live things, at the beginning of practice. But I do think that we got to be physical in practice, and we got to show toughness. The weather has been great, and at times, I felt like we need to be bringing energy both sides of the football.
Talking about the O-line today, and you brought up Coach Kramer in your post-game on some stuff. Just what do you think Coach Kramer think about this offensive line having guys back?
Oh, well, I mean, I would first be nervous if Coach Kramer was watching our offense in general, because we don't have a fullback and a tight end. Not that we don't have a tight end, but I mean like with his hand on the ground up on the line. But he would also be proud that Coach Cash is using the same chute over there that we used when I played, and Coach Kramer was the offensive line coach. So I always, Coach Kramer was hard to play for, but I remember a lot of the things that he said and how tough he made us. So. Anyway, I think he would be excited about the guys that we have, and because I think he would be excited about them because not only are they good players, but I think they show the right type of toughness too, toughness that he would like.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Yep. See you guys.